Everybody has an ego and everybody is a soul. The thing is, the ego has taken over so much. Everybody that we think that we are this self that we think we are, and maybe or maybe not we have a soul. You don't have a soul. The soul has you. It's different. The finger doesn't have a hand, the hand has a finger. And we have turned it around. And guess what keeps the illusion going? Your mind, your thoughts. In the works of Carlos Castaneda, his teacher Don Juan said basically, we construct our reality and we keep it kind of the same over time with our internal dialogue. And that one of the first things that a man of knowledge, sorcerer, wizard needs to do is to stop that internal dialogue. Can you stop thinking right now on command? Most people can't. Some people think they can, but then when they really try, they find out they can't. So if you can't stop thinking, then who's the you that's thinking? If you're driving a car and you can't stop it and you can't turn it and you can't turn off the ignition, are you really driving a car? Or are you just in a controlled or not so controlled wipeout about to happen? The thing is, your soul is always talking to you, but it's talking to you a little bit more quietly than your ego and much less incessantly. So here's a good little technique, and that is listen. Try listening instead of talking. Now, in the beginning, it's going to be a jumble, okay? You're going to hear your soul because it is always talking to you, but you're going to hear a lot of your egoic mind chatter, your internal dialogue as well. But if you just sit and listen, forget about meditating, forget about trying not to think and shutting your brain down and all of that. In a way, we're kind of going the same place, but taking a different route. So what you need to do is just sit and listen. And you'll notice there are levels, there are different voices, for lack of a better word, speaking to you. They're always happening. Now, how can you tell which one is your ego and which one is your soul? Well, the ego is always going to be trying to figure things out. The ego is always going to be trying to be in control. So that's one thing to look for. Are you trying to be in control? And when I say be in control, I don't mean that you control the weather and you control world events or anything like that. It's just that you kind of control understanding your world through your mind. You have the illusion of that kind of control. And the fact is, we are not in control and we're never going to figure it all out. And spirit doesn't mind. Here's another way to look at the difference between ego and spirit that might help you figure out who you're listening to when you actually sit down and take the time to listen. Ego thinks there is an objective reality that we need to figure out and navigate. So ego is making deals, making bargains with the universe. Ego is saying, well, if I go to college, I'll make more money, or I'll make this much money. Or if I get a job in Wall Street, by the time I'm 35, I'll be a millionaire at least. And spirit realizes that it's all instantaneous manifestation out of who knows what, the mystery. And spirit knows that it is not in any danger. Spirit has no fear. Spirit doesn't need to figure it out. Spirit is like a little puppy playing. The ego is like some arch villain trying to figure stuff out and be in control of the situation. So spirit might say, like, I like purple. And the ego might say, yeah, how can I monetize that? What can I do with this information? How can I control my reality? How can I get more? How can I avoid things I don't like? Spirit is in love, and ego is in fear. Any thoughts that bring about fear are egoic. And one of the fears that the ego will bring up when you go into the spiritual realm is going to be a reflection of its loss of control. Like, I'm going to die. I'm going crazy. This is insane. It's going to make you doubt yourself. It's going to make you go into fear. And spirit kind of has that attitude, like, spirit knows all the lifetimes you've ever had. And it's not afraid of when one ends, when another one begins, and what happens in between. Spirit knows that it is eternal, it is pure love, and it's manifesting things for fun. Ego thinks there are high stakes. Spirit doesn't. And so if you sit and listen and don't try to figure it out right away, because that's just ego trying to figure it out, surrender to the joy and the love of spirit, and just notice when you're feeling happy, when you're feeling kind of silly, you're probably touching spirit. When you feel afraid or serious or like there are high stakes, that's probably ego. So don't try to quiet your mind. Just let it chatter in the background, but listen for spirit. And as you do it, spirit will come into the foreground. And there's no battle between spirit and your ego. Spirit loves your ego. Spirit finds your ego adorable on many levels, even levels that you're ashamed of, actually. So just listen. You'll start hearing things, and I don't mean that way, and you won't figure it out right away. Just listen, see what happens, and leave me your results in the comments. I'd love to read it. Thanks.